That was a lot of unexpected drama. I definitely didn't expect, you know, his friends to show up. And I mean, not that, like, that wasn't the shocking part. I guess it was just like seeing them and not, I don't know, they just, not all, like, I guess the sick one, Tommy, looked so much older. Yeah, I didn't expect all this drama that, like, at first I was like, okay. I mean, obviously they were his buddies and his Cobra Kai buddies, so there was, I mean, there was that connection, but I was like, where are we going with this? And then, you know, the way that they reacted to the idea that Cobra Kai is back, and they were like so adamantly against that, or at least like the two living ones, like Jimmy and Timmy, I guess. I didn't remember all my names like that. I mean, not that I definitely do remember the names, but anyway, they were like so like not happy about that at all. And Tommy was like, you know, just I guess believing in Johnny and the fact that he could, you know, change things if it so chose. And I guess it was also kind of the perspective of like, you know, I'm going to die, so I guess maybe like, you know, do what you think is right, kind of like you have the time, like he told Johnny, like you have the time to, you know, to do everything, change your life and stuff. So, you know, go for the things that you want to do, and I'm sure that you know, like it's better than not doing anything, basically. And Johnny honestly believes that it's like that he's changing stuff, or things are different now, but we know that John Kreese has a different idea in mind. He's so fucking unknown. God. And like, yeah, he's a snake, basically, which, yeah, I guess he fits the role, you know, of a Cobra Kai sensei in some way, or at least what he thinks he should be. And I mean, I was really proud of Miguel for like standing for what he thought was right, which is what Johnny thinks, but then he was turned around by what Tory said, and I understand that, but I mean, Tory was like making a point of like, yeah, not everyone has the privilege to, you know, to be the bigger person, or to step back and just do nothing, and, you know, and not fight when they have the chance to do it, or like, you know, and the thing is that, you know, you fight, and then usually you fight against someone with a lot more power. I mean, from like Tory's perspective, and you can do anything against them. So when you do get the chance to do something, you have to go all the way. So it made sense to her. And I guess it does make sense in that. But the question is, what are you fighting for? Who are you fighting? You know, like say we take this like analogy of like, you know, a fight in a tournament, like in a tournament or whatever. Not in a tournament. Just like in a dojo against someone, like you got the point, but that's not enough. You have to like keep on going, because until your enemy is finished, whatever that means in this context, you know, like I mean, what the hell, you know. I think that you can't, I think the problem is to, you know, generalize all fighting in life as, you know, as just something that you never give up, and sometimes giving up is also an important thing to learn and to do, you know, not when it comes to things that are important to you, but sometimes, I mean, it depends on like what, you know, what result you're trying to achieve, and like always fighting all the way, always going like going on until your enemy is finished will not necessarily win you what you're trying to get, you know? Yeah, so Chris, like, obviously has not made that distinction, and we can see how it can be definitely very, you know, destructive, as in the case of Eli, for instance, where you lose your girlfriend and you lose your friends and you lose, I mean, okay, no, he's not, he lost his like former friend that he doesn't want to be a friend anymore, I guess, but you lose like well, I guess mostly he lost his girlfriend, I guess. And I guess some of his lackeys. But yeah, it's a problem. And I mean, I don't think that's the end of what he's going to lose. Hopefully, I guess we'll see. And he kind of lost the respect of Johnny, even though he didn't have to face that. And, you know, his, like, crimes were, like, brushed under the rug. Like, Kreese was, like, kind of, like, just, oh, that's fine. Like, you're all Cobra Kai, and, like, one of you does something, then all of you are responsible for it. Like, okay. I mean, sure, there's that sense of camaraderie that we saw kind of reflected in, you know, the older Cobra Kais, that had the way that they were, like, so close to each other, and just, but they were full of regret about the Cobra Kai days, interestingly. And so there can be camaraderie without the Cobra Kai aspect, basically, or, you know, despite the Cobra Kai aspect. At the same time, we see, you know, like, Daniel and Miyagi-Do kind of, you know, taking the togetherness of it to, like, the other direction of, like, teamwork, and, like, you know, I mean, you're still, like, an individual within the group, but you can work together, like, with your individuality, and kind of bring it in, because, like, Demetri is like, you know, I know this physics thing that can help us, but I also need your help to, you know, and stuff like that. So we definitely have that, like, reflection. And so far, Cobra Kai is going down the drain, as far as, you know, on the scales, I guess, of good versus bad. Right now, under the influence of Kreese, like, even Miguel is being, like, influenced, and I mean, again, understandably, Tory was making a good point that came from her, you know, experience that was very, like, limited, though, to a very specific, that's not true. Probably her mother faced this kind of, like, unfairness of the world a lot of times. But still, even in that situation, like, you know, fighting back, what does that even, like, really mean? Like, sometimes when you're facing something that's really unfair, sometimes walking away, even if it's like, oh, you're losing, you know, opens up, like, you know, other opportunities for you, I guess. I don't know. It's like, it's definitely an interesting argument. Like, to say, okay, we have to fight for whatever we get, because we're, like, we have nothing, kind of, and the world wants to take it from us. So it's definitely, like, you can understand that point of view for sure. But again, does it apply to every single thing? And does that mean, like, if things were taken from you, does that mean that when you finally get the chance that you fought for, I guess, to take things from others, is that really the way to go about it? It's an interesting thing, and I do want to see how they, like, address that, because I don't want it to be, like, completely, like, for Cobra Kai to be obviously completely wrong, or for Tory to be completely wrong, because you did make a point that was, like, important in some way, and we understand why it affected Miguel to think, oh, I was wrong. But at the same time, like, it's clearly, like, not the right way to do this, you know? So anyway, yeah, I want to see how they handle that, I guess, going forward. And I do want to see, I don't want to see what Johnny's going to do about Kreese, because he seemed to be really believing that Kreese is changing, and that he wants to make Cobra Kai the same way, like, better in the same way that Johnny does. And I wonder, like, if he's going to see, you know, going away and then coming back and seeing it, kind of what's been going on without him. I hope that he notices something, you know, something is off. And I mean, I don't know how, anyway, like, and I need some kind of confrontation with Kreese, but I don't know if that's going to come anytime soon, or how far it's going to go before things are put on the table. But anyway, interesting episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Special thanks to my top Patreons: Writing's Here, Andy Plays All Night, Terranor, Michael Gabriel, Shadows Moon, and Marsh. And to the rest of my amazing Patreons, who without their support, I would never be able to keep on doing this. Thank you so much.